I am CNY Woman, and you found CNY Woman Enjoys Yarn Therapy. I am doing a live at a weird time. I didn't want to wait until 5 o'clock, so I decided to do it now. And we're doing a corner-to-corner blanket that I've already started. It looks like this. As you can see, very colorful. It is Premier Puzzle, 328 yards, 300 meters, 100% acrylic. It's a 5 bulky weight. Recommends a 6mm hook and 6mm needles. I'm using a 6.5 hook, and this color is called, okay, hang on, Jigsaw. So that's the deal with that. I'm going to tilt this down just a tad because you don't need to see the rest of the room. You just need to see the actual blanket that I'm working on. And if you don't know how to do corner to corner, I do have a tutorial on the channel for that. It is newly recorded. I accidentally deleted the old tutorial, so it's a new and improved tutorial. And you can let me know how you like it. Or if you just want to watch a tutorial, that's a good one to watch. It's short and sweet. So we'll see who shows up today. Usually people show up after they get notified, and, you know, as I'm going on at a weird time, maybe a while before everybody shows up. Good afternoon. Welcome in. My name is Mindy, and I'm working on a corner-to-corner blanket that looks like this out of Premier Puzzle. You're welcome to come hang out with me if you'd like to. Grab a project, come on in. Getting some more people. I've got 3 skeins of this particular colorway. Hi, Olivia. Welcome in. Thank you. It's called Jigsaw. This is what the colors look like laid out. So it goes from like a light blue to taupe to a darker blue, a brownish color, and then back to like blue. So it's got a lot of variation in it. I like the Premier Puzzle for the corner-to-corner blankets. And it's easily available at Walmart, which I have also tagged the product in Walmart's store because Walmart carries it for the least amount of money out of anybody I found. They go for $5.98 at Walmart per skein. So you can go check that out. It links directly to the store. And Olivia says hi. So welcome in, everybody. My name is Mindy. I am coming to you from Syracuse, New York, right in the middle of New York State. I have been knitting and crocheting for 35 years. I've been on YouTube for at least 13 to 14 years, although the channel has grown a lot lately since I started doing lives about a year ago. I went from about 500 people to almost 5,200 subscribers now. I'm like 25 subscribers away from 5,200, which is fabulous. I'm not getting rich off doing this. I make about $1 per live, so not getting rich by any means. So it is what it is. And we'll put a little, let's see, pin to live stream. Okay, so the yarn is pinned in the live stream. So if you want to check that out, you can. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. That's about it. So nothing too exciting going on here. I chit chat and I crochet. That is what I do in the lives. So if you want to chit chat with me, that makes the time go faster. It gets to be a little more interesting than me just spitballing and telling you what I did during my day. I did drop off my tax documents this morning at the tax preparers. And I did go to my local furniture store where I bought my recliner last year because they were giving away knife sets today. So I got a free knife set. I just had to go in and, say, here's the email you guys sent me. Give me my free knives. So they did that, and that was at the outlet store where I bought my chair last year. So now my tax preparer has all my documents for my appointment in 2 weeks. So she can work on taxes before I get there. And then all I'll have to do is go in and sign and stuff like that. So that's my plan. If you don't know how to do corner to corner, I just chained 6 because I'm at the beginning of the row, and then I go 4 from the hook. So I'm going to go in this one right here and do a double crochet. And then I got 2 stitches left. So I'm going to go into the next double crochet, the next chain and do another double crochet if I can get in the stitch. Wowzers, it's going to be a day. And then I'm going to go in the last stitch if I can figure out how to get there. As you can tell, sometimes it's difficult for me to see stitches. I do have on a couple LED lamps because the sun is going to set in about an hour. And so I need that extra light. Okay, so here's the part where people get confused. You're like, you got this weird new beginning thing, and you got this other piece, your main piece. Flip it over so it looks like stair steps or the back of a stegosaurus. And you want that so the chains are here and they're up at the top of the squares or the blocks. So I've just made my first block in my next row. And then I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain up 3 stitches. And then I am going to do 3 double crochets around the chain. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to repeat this all the way up. Do a slip stitch, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and do 3 double crochets around the chain. 1, 2, and 3. So we're in good shape. This color is called Jigsaw of Premier Puzzle. Like I said, I did tag the product. If you want to order it from Walmart, that's one of the cheapest places to get it. They sell it for $5.98. I don't know how they can do that, but they do because it's Walmart. I don't know that you can get Jigsaw from them. You might have to order another similar color, but they have a few colors available, and it's a good price. So we're working on our blanket, and it'll probably take me a while to get this done. I just started this the other day, so as you can see, it's getting bigger, but it needs to be 36 by 36. So it'll take me a while to get through this. I'm in no rush. I've been working on my half double crochet baby blanket with Bernat Forever fleece today, and I needed a break from that. You needed a break from that too, because I worked on it Friday night, and then I did a short live this morning where I was like, hey, here, look at the same blanket again. And I don't want to show you the same blanket over and over again. Some people take comfort in that. I like to have a couple different projects to rotate, so you're not seeing the same thing every time. You may see the same project like once or twice a week, depending on how much I go live, but you're not going to see it usually, 3 days in a row. And tomorrow we may do knitting. I may just work on stockinette in the morning. I'm thinking about 11 a.m. So tomorrow we'll do some knitting. Not color changes or anything. We're just going to do plain stockinette in the round. So lots of knit stitches, because I need to work on my sweater as well. Got 28 people in the house. I got 3 thumbs. Could you give a girl a help out? Help a girl out. If you just tap twice on your screen, go tap, tap. You can do that right within the video, and you will give me a thumbs up, and that would be terrific. I sound like really weird. I don't know why I sound really weird. I don't want to sound really weird. I was supposed to have lunch with somebody. We miscommunicated. He was like, oh, we were doing lunch? Yes, we were doing lunch. However, that message got cross-circuited. So he did not do lunch. He was like, really? I'm home now. Okay, whatever. So I said he was unreliable. He is unreliable. So I went with a delivery company to deliver me a meal from Panera. I won't say who, but it took a while to find a driver. And then it took a while to get here. probably took an hour by the time we got done. And I got a chicken bacon rancher and promptly ate half of it, and it was delicious. And then I drank a Pepsi. I have the other half of the chicken bacon rancher and some chips for dinner tonight. I was watching the spring training game of the Yankees before the guys go off to the baseball classic games that are coming up. Friday night at 8 o'clock, USA. I don't know who they're playing, but they'll be playing on Fox on Friday night. So that'll be nice. So we're getting there. If you want to chat with me, please feel free to type something in the chat. It does let me know that people are out there. I see people out there, but I don't see anything going on. You know, like even if you want to say hi and have me read your name out, that is okay with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm starting my next row. So I'm going to again go in the 4th chain from the hook. Let's get focused here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do a double crochet into that stitch. And then the next stitch I'm going to do a double crochet into. And what am I going to do with the last stitch? I bet you can guess. That's right, gang, a double crochet. And then we're going to turn our work like we're like a stair step or the back of a stegosaurus. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch, chain 3, 2, 3, and then I'm doing 3 double crochets around this chain. So it's not, you don't have to go into the chain, you're going around the chain. So this is super easy to do. I do have a video on the channel that demonstrates how to do it. So please go check that out. I have some other crochet videos on the channel that show you how to make a blanket with some blanket yarn. I do have some blanket yarn on order. Walmart had some good prices on blanket yarn, so I placed an order. I also have some blanket yarn coming from Amazon that was like $7.71 a skein, which is very good considering now it is going for $14.99 a skein. And no, I'm not making that number up. If you look at Yarn Inspirations, which is a company that makes Bernat blanket, right now it is $14.99 a skein. You may want to sign up for their email. Why? Because tomorrow, March 1st, they will be having a very, very large sale. And you will get notified about the very, very large sale. I don't know how much the prices are going to be off, but it's going to be something, you know. So that is going to be awesome. So now I got to pull out some yarn. There we go. So if you like yarn inspiration stuff, hi. Hannon? Hannum, I think is how you pronounce that, and says hi. I assume everybody's here because they want to get away from the news. It was a great shock to me this morning to wake up and see that we had attacked Iran. I'm not going into politics here. I just hope whatever it is ends quickly. And if the Iranians want regime change, I hope they get their wish. Because I know there have been protests and crackdowns and all kinds of crazy stuff going on over there. But I am not a world politics person. I will not debate the merits of military action or whether or not we should be involved in the Middle East, since my opinion has no bearing on any decisions made by our government. And I have no experience in the region because I have never been in the armed services. I have a friend who was in the armed services, whom I'm sure has an opinion because he has been deployed to the Middle East when he was in the Army Reserves. So I would be more interested in his opinion than most people's. But we shall see what happens. In other news, in Syracuse, we're building an aquarium. Why we're building an aquarium, I have no idea. Apparently, it's going to be a tourist mecca. We just have an IKEA that just opened, a small IKEA that is in our mall, and the aquarium will be located close to the mall. So that is good. However, I haven't been to that mall since, last year. I don't really have reason to go to that mall. I don't shop all that much. If I do shop, it's usually online. I usually have stuff delivered to the house. It's just way easier. So we'll see how it goes. The sun is starting to set a little bit. It's getting low in the sky, I should say, not sunset yet. So we're just working on the blanket. Like I said, I plan to do that other half of the sandwich and some chips tonight. I was going to get dessert from Wegmans, but the food delivery service wanted to charge me $29 for a piece of Boston cream pie. And I was like, I don't want to pay $29. Plus the fact they were like, we can't find anybody to drive it for you, even though the person that was coming from Panera could have picked it up at Wegmans because Wegmans is practically next door. Hi, Alyssa. Welcome in. So I canceled that part of the order, so I was not charged $29 for a piece of Boston cream pie. I think if I want a piece of Boston cream pie, I'll just go to Wegmans and buy it myself for the $6.25 that they charge for it, which I may do tomorrow if I'm out and about. we're just hanging out, crocheting. Grab yourself something to drink, grab yourself something to eat. I'll be on with you for some more time. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on. We'll see. Doing pretty good on the power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to count 4 from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to do a double crochet. And then the next stitch, doing another double crochet. And then I'm doing, you guessed it, a double crochet. If I can get in that stitch. I do things repetitively. You'll notice that because people like repetition. Well, I like repetition. And we're doing our stair steps or stegosaurus look with our stuff, doing a slip stitch and then chaining up 1, 2, 3, and then doing 3 double crochets around the chain. And again, I am using Premier Puzzle in the color Jigsaw. I have several colors of puzzle that I have collected, including a new one called Citrus Burst that I got that was on sale at Premier Yarns. They were on sale for a bag of 3 for $16 a while back. So I was like, that's a good price. And it coincidentally, it takes me about 2.5 skeins to 3 skeins to make a baby blanket that's 36 by 36 when I do corner to corner. So it was like the perfect sale for me. I got it in that Citrus Burst or whatever it's called, Citrus. And then I got it in another color too that I think it was called Tag, maybe. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was a good deal. I'm using a Boy, B-O-Y, ergonomic hook that is 6.5 millimeters. It's a K hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets. If I can do them correctly. Let's try that again. I'm kind of leaning here, so let's straighten up a little bit. We are not a chatty group today. Not a chatty group. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. You can give me a thumbs up by tapping on your phone twice. You don't even have to leave the video. You can just go tap, tap, and there you go. Again, if you're coming in late, my name is Mindy. I come from Syracuse, New York. I'm working on a corner-to-corner blanket that will wind up being a square, corner to corner, so traditional. You can make them in rectangles. I have a video demonstrating how to do a square because that's the only one I know how to do. I know how to do a rectangle in principle, but I've never done a rectangle before. So not really sure why that is, but probably because I just use this for baby stuff and I need it to be square. I need it to be 36 by 36 because I crochet for Project Linus, which is a nationwide charity that distributes blankets to children. And around here we have a volunteer that collects all the blankets and then she distributes them. One of the places they go is Golisano Children's Hospital and also the labor and delivery unit at Upstate. So all of those places. And she works with other organizations that work with children like the Ryan McMahon Ryan House, which is a child advocacy center, otherwise known as where a kid goes when a crime has been committed against them and they need to have an interview with the child. Typically, a kid's being removed from the home, something along those lines. And they interview the kid, and they want the kid to be comfortable, so they give them a blanket as a security thing. And they get the medical attention they need if they need medical attention. They talk with a social worker, they talk with the police. All of those things happen. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it's a scary thing for a kid to be, have to discuss such things. So I feel good about making blankets that go there and go to sick kids in the hospital or newborns that are in the hospital as well. I feel it's a worthy thing to crochet for, and I usually crochet all my blankets. I've made one knitted blanket for them, and that was it. Other than that, I've crocheted all of them because I think crochet is faster and it makes a sturdier blanket, in my opinion, because the nature of crochet stitches is that they have more texture and bulk than a knitted fabric, which is more loose and drapey. I do not crochet tightly, so my stuff is not like super tight or anything along those lines. So after my delivery of my food, then I had a political person knock on my door because they needed signatures to get the candidates on the ballots. So I signed all the pretty little pages so the candidates could get on the ballots. Not a big deal. Don't know what I'm doing tonight. Probably watching YouTube or a program. I might watch Poirot on PBS because I have PBS Passport and I can watch it whenever I like because I donated $5 a month to the local public television station. and they give you Passport, which is like an on-demand streaming service. And $5 a month is pretty cheap. It's like the lowest level you can pledge. So I was just watching Cinnamon Stitches before I came on her latest video where she's in the hotel. They're living in a hotel until they get settled in their new house. Until they close on their new house, I should say. So if you like crochet content, go check out her channel. She's a large channel, so you've probably heard of her before. But she does good videos. She does like videos every day and has interesting content. So we're just working on the blanket. You can see there's been a color change. One, two, three. We're definitely not a chatty group today. If you want to chat, feel free to type something in the chat, even if it's just so-and-so said hi, because you want your name read out loud on the internet and be forever famous. I will do that. I usually just read first names. I don't read the whole handle because, later on you can't see the chat. There's Danny. Hi, Danny. Welcome in. Hello, it's Robert from New Jersey. Hi, Robert. I've been to New Jersey. I dated a guy in college that lived in New Jersey, that lived in Mount Tabor, near Denville. And he still lives in that area. We are still best friends. Well, not best friends, but we're friends years later. We graduated in 1993 from college. And I've been to the IKEA in Paramus twice in my lifetime. I've made that trip to New Jersey several times, gone through the Delaware Water Gap because I live in Syracuse, New York. So I've been across Pennsylvania and then go down through until I got to New Jersey. It's been a while since I made that trip. And Danny says, watching you from Belgium. I love crochet too. Cool. And Robert says, Mount Tabor, that's in the Morris County area. Yep, you are exactly right. It's a very nice old Methodist camping ground. That's what they originally were when they were having the revivals. It was a Methodist camp community, and then they made permanent houses there. And now you don't have to be Methodist to have a house there, but there is actually a little Methodist church there in the village itself, and they have their own fire department. And then there is a golf course off the back, if I remember correctly. Like I said, I haven't been down there in at least 10 years, so. Alyssa says, hi, I crochet too, and I loom knit. Very cool. Very cool, Alyssa. I crochet and I knit. I'll probably be knitting tomorrow around 11 in the morning Eastern time. I'll do a live where all I'm going to be doing is just stockinette stitch. It's going to be really not very exciting, but we can chat then too. So we will get together then and hang out. My name is Mindy. I'm in my 50s. I'm actually going to be 55 this year. So that's at the end of May. I work in an office during the week. I'm off on weekends. And Robert says, this has to be the most decent and relaxing thing to watch on YouTube. Well, thank you. I'm going back to doing lives after taking a break for a little while. I was going to give them up for Lent and decided not to. And was like, hey, I'm going to go do lives because I like doing them. They sort of fill the time here. I live by myself, so it is nice to have a crochet and knitting group readily available, and all I have to do is put my phone in the phone holder, put the phone holder around my neck, and bingo bango, I'm live. I don't know why more people don't do it, because it's super easy. I literally am using my phone. I don't have any fancy equipment. And the phone holder cost me a whole $20 on Amazon. So that is my setup. And then I just have wireless internet. Although my TV the other day started giving me issues. It disconnected itself from the internet, and I was like, and it would try and make the connection to the wireless, and it wasn't working right. So I was like, screw it. I'm getting 50 feet of Ethernet cable, and I'm connecting the TV from the living room, stringing that through the hall, and then putting it in the bedroom where my modem is, and got that all hooked up, and bingo bango, I got my TV again. I'm in IT. Is it a smart TV? Yes, it is a smart TV. It's an LG. So Ethernet cable is working beautifully. It is more stable since I have the lowest tier of internet available. I pay $30 a month. So I wasn't going to get the higher tier because I live by myself, so I don't have that many devices connected to it at one time. So I don't know if it needs a system update. I think it does that automatically, but the Ethernet cable, although it looks very ugly, does the job. And I think I'll get better reception because LG has a whole bunch of other channels that are available that you can use. Although I use Roku and I have a Chromecast on it as well. So I can cast from my phone if I want to. So the Ethernet cable is doing its job, and I paid $17 for the Ethernet cable from Walmart. So it was worth it. Um, yeah, I have a friend that's in IT as well. Um, he works for Verizon as a technical support person. So when you call Verizon Fios and you're like, my TV doesn't work, I don't know what's sorry. When you're like, my TV doesn't work, I don't know what's going on. He's the guy that guides you through it. And during COVID, they started working from home because nobody wanted to be in the same building together. And they've continued to work from home. So he has a little office that he goes into and answers those phone calls. So you hear them sometimes, and they have something that's pretty cool. They have a code that they can send to your phone so that they can see using your camera. So if you're trying to describe something to them, they'll be like, hey, I'm going to send you a code. And when you get the code, read it off to me. And then they have like a connection thing that uses your phone, and they can see with your camera. So it's kind of cool. So they can be like, hey, yep, you've used that feature. Yep. So it's kind of cool. I don't have Verizon Fios because it is not available in my area, ironically. It's available to the community in the south of me, but it is not available in my area. I'm stuck with the other internet provider, which is fine. I've had them for years and haven't had any problem with service. So, and I use an antenna for my television. Yeah, Verizon is weird like that. Yeah, because you have to have it voted on in the local community, and it's very strange. And Maria is here, and Maria said hi. Hi, Maria, welcome in. So if I have IT issues, I go to my friend and I'm like, hey, what would you do? I mean, in this case, I knew there was an Ethernet port on the back of my television. I knew there was an Ethernet port on my modem. So I strung the wire between them, and bing, bang, boom, there I am. And it cost me $17 to fix. And now I have a more stable internet because it's not like looking for a wireless connection that can drop out. It's hardwired in. So I think it'll be more effective, you know. It works for me because I got that delivered with my groceries from Walmart this morning. Yep, I'm not wrong. Yeah, especially when I'm on the cheap side and don't want to pay $50 a month for internet. I have no use for it to be super fast or anything. And Concepcion is here and said hi. Welcome in, Concepcion. Glad to see you here. So we're in good shape. If you want to give me a thumbs up, you can do that by going, how does this go again? Tap, tap on your phone. And somebody did just that. Thank you very much. The sun is starting to set. The sky is starting to get dark. Make sure you go out tonight and look at the planets that are going to be aligned at sunset. I don't know which way you face to see them though. And we look like we have cloud cover, so I don't think I'm going to see any planets aligning tonight. If you're in the US. I'm not sure what other places they're aligning to. Check your local forecast. And I'm leaning again, so I'm going to straighten up here. I think so, Robert. They told me that it's tonight around sunset. So check planet alignment February 28th. Google that and it'll tell you. They're going to look like stars in a line, basically. But like I said, we have cloud cover here, so I doubt I'm going to be able to see it. And later this week in the United States, there will be a lunar eclipse. I believe that's the 2nd or the 3rd. I can't remember exactly what day it is. But the moon will turn red during the lunar eclipse. And you can just Google lunar eclipse in my area. And that will tell you when you can check into the lunar eclipse. I want to say it's like starts at 3:44 in the morning and goes till about 6. Something along those lines. That's, I think, March 2nd or March 3rd. I want to say it's March 2nd, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. You know, we used to watch the shooting stars when we were kids. During the meteor shower that's during the summer around August 13th, which is when my parents' anniversary was, which is why I remember that there's always a meteor shower around that time. There's meteor showers several times a year, but that is one of them in August, and it's very bright, and you see a lot of shooting stars then. See a lot of meteorites burning up in the atmosphere. It's kind of cool. So we're working on this blanket, just relaxing, keeping our minds off the news. You can see there's a color change there. We went from like blue to more of a tannish color. And this yarn is what they call barber pole. It goes like this. See how that looks like a barber pole? Literally. Barber poles are red and white. In case you haven't seen a barber pole lately. Not too many barber shops around anymore. It's all like supercuts and stuff like that. Or maybe I just don't go to barber shops, so maybe I don't notice them. But that's what they call that when a yarn does that. They call it barber poling. A couple of the strands are one color and a couple of strands are the other color, and they're twisted. There are a lot of barber shops around the base here, says Kristen. Hi, Kristen. Welcome in. I forgot to go look at your Michael's haul. I got to do that this afternoon. before dinner. I gotta go check out your Michael's haul because I know you put it up there this morning. My other uncle is doing well in the hospital. They tell me, my aunt tells me he's probably going to get out on Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is probably not going to be allowed to go back to the assisted living place where he is because he needs short-term rehab. He will instead go to a nursing home for that short-term rehab. But hi, Yul. Welcome in. I am working on a corner-to-corner baby blanket. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm doing a double crochet into there. I'll show you in a second once I finish these couple of stitches here what that looks like. Okay, I finished the beginning row, beginning of my new row. It looks like this. Starts down here with 1 brick, and then you do 2, then you do 3, 4, and so on. And you increase 1 brick every row until you get to the diagonal point that you're ready to start decreasing, and then you do 1 less brick per row. I do have a tutorial on this corner to corner method on my channel that you're welcome to view, and it'll show you how to crochet that. If you don't know how to crochet at all, I do have a learn to crochet playlist on my channel. I start you out with a chain, which is what I'm doing here. Literally like making a swing set chain. And then I take you into stitches. Like this is a stitch called a double crochet. And I'm doing around the chain that is on this block. I'm not going into the chain, I'm going around the chain. So this is a good project if you want to make a square baby blanket. I know how to do that, and I show you how to make a square. So it doesn't take too long to learn. You might have to watch the video a couple of times to really get it. I did record the video. I had one previously and accidentally erased it when I was erasing all my old lives because I wanted to get a fresh start. So we're starting afresh this week. And you're obviously overseas since you said good morning. Because here it is evening. We're just getting to sunset here in Syracuse, New York. And if you want to tell me what country you're located in, that would be super. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't have to. Not a requirement. In your country, it is 5:50. Okay. So you're 12 hours ahead of us. Because here it's 5:50 p.m. You're in Indonesia. Very cool. I'm in the United States. I am in New York State, which is in the eastern half of the country. We're near the Atlantic Ocean. Not me personally, but New York City is near the Atlantic Ocean. New York is a very big state. I am 4.5 hours north of New York. And Alyssa says, I'm from Buffalo, New York. Cool. Are you getting snow today, Alyssa? Because we're not. We didn't get any snow today, and it was up in the 50s, which is nice. Although I hear it's going to turn cold again. Nope, no snow. Good. All right, I've been on for about an hour. I'm thinking that I might want to stop the live and get myself some dinner. I got the other half of that chicken bacon rancher from Panera to eat, along with some chips. Not a great dinner, but it's a dinner that I didn't have to cook. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you tomorrow, probably about 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll be knitting a sweater. So have a lovely evening and stay safe. And remember to craft something because it's good for your mental health.